Hey everybody, how fast is your camera? How many frames per second will it do? Do you know? Is it important to you? We're going to find out some things about it here in just a second. I'm Robert Maxfield and I've been a concert and music photographer in Dallas, Texas for going on 45 some odd years. And I've covered a number of bands, probably hundreds of them. Last year I covered between 55 and 75 bands for the whole year. But lately, I've been on a lot of forums, and the big deal right now is all the fancy features. A lot of mirrorless and well, mirrorless is about all you're going to get nowadays. Mirrorless cameras have, and one of the questions I got on the YouTube comments was, somebody says they shoot 1,000 uh, pictures an artist, and to me that seems kind of overkill. I've never had a need to, but if you do, well, okay. But I guarantee you, I don't want to go through all the editing and storage and all that mess that you have to go through for doing that. You figure 10 minutes of actual shooting time for the first three songs, and if you're shooting 1,000 shots, you're shooting 100 frames a second. Your camera, how's your camera keeping up? I don't know, but this camera, which we use as our backup camera, on the box says it is about 5 frames per second. So it's not blazingly fast, but because there's new cameras out there that say they're 120 frames per second. So what I thought I would do would give you a little bit of background about how frames per second came about. And it's probably not the way you think a lot of it came about. Most people think, well, fast action sports, baseball, downhill skiing, that kind of stuff. No, that's not where it comes from. It comes from a lot of places where a lot of innovations and a lot of inventions come from, and it comes from the actual war, and in this case, again, World War II. So what we're going to talk about a little bit is I'm going to show you a camera that was used for shooting baseball. It's called I believe it's called the Fulmer Big Bertha, and I'll show you a picture of it. It's massive, and that's what they use for shooting concerts, not concerts, but baseball games. And then for press and events, they use things like speed graphics, and they used Rolleicords or Rolleiflexes, which are full frame, not full frame, but 2¼ by 2¼ they're medium format size negatives. So they were not blazingly fast at all, especially when you have to keep sliding in and out your film cartridges. You're going to get maybe 1 frame every 4 or 5 seconds. So let's start with the granddaddy of what started it all. This camera right here is probably, I want to say 80, 81 years old, somewhere around there. This is a burning robot. And these cameras were used to in World War II in order to film battle damage. Some of them were used in photographing from what bombers shot. In fact, the German Luftwaffe had a version of the burning robot that it took and placed in the back of a tail of the Stuka dive bomber, the Ju-87 famous Stuka dive bomber. And when the bomber went into its dive and it started to pull out, a remote would trip the camera in the back, in the tail, and it would take photographs of the bomb damage in which was occurring from the dive. And today, this camera, what did I say, is 81 years old. And it still fires. And certain models of it had longer lenses and things like that. If you notice, it's got interchangeable lenses. So this is the granddaddy of frames per second. So the U.S. military used something similar that it would from B-17s. It'd photograph down and shoot pictures of areas that were bombed, and that's the way actually frame advance or frames per second came about. Came about through that kind of equipment in Germany to photograph war damage. Now, today, people say, well, I can't deal without having 4 or 5 frames per second at least. They make it sound silly that 5 frames per second is incredibly slow. Back in the day, say the 80s, 90s, if you had a motor drive at 5 frames a second, you were extremely fast. You would go through a roll of film in roughly 5-6 seconds. Okay, so nowadays they're talking 120 frames per second in JPEG. And as concert photographers, that's a lot of photos. So if you're doing that, so you've got 1,000 photos, you got to sort through them all. Enjoy yourself, because I'm not going to do it. I'm more patient, and I will sit there and wait. I don't care how fast the artist is moving, if they're jumping around or whatever, I will still get my photo. So anyway, when you want to know where certain things come from, that's where this one comes from. This little camera is supposedly 5 frames a second. With its current buffer, it'll only give me like 2 or 3, and before it shuts down and will not go any further until it clears. So sometimes those things are not correct. They'll tell you a real fast large amount of frames per second, and the camera won't keep up with it. But what I'm going to say is, be selective, be patient, take good shots, and that's what this week's this quick shot's about. So anyway, if you have any questions, comments, confusions, anything like that, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you got any suggestions for things you'd like to see, information about concerts, photography in general, anything like that, put them in there. Hit the like button, ring that bell so you stay up to date, and man, like and subscribe, because our channel is growing. We love to hear from you, and have yourself a good one. And I'm going to put out another video. Hopefully it'll be coming out Thursday. See you later. Bye-bye.